Hi, and welcome to the first of our two videos on area and perimeter. These questions always come up in 11 plus papers in some variety, and the key thing is that they always link area with perimeter. So these two topics come in the same question very often. Often the question will be based around area and perimeter of a square or a rectangle, and to make it a little bit more challenging, you might get asked to work out a problem involving a compound shape like the one below. So a few of the basics before we start. Remember the formulas. Area equals base times height, and the perimeter is the distance around the outside of the shape. You can ignore any sides that are inside the shape. They're irrelevant. It's only what's visible on the outside. So let's crack on with the question. This is based in three parts. The first one, we need to find the length of each square. So they've told us that the compound shape is made up of a series of squares. That's going to help us work it out. Part B is find the area of each square. And part C is find the area of the whole shape. Okay, so let's get started. In part A, they tell us that the perimeter of the shape is 126 centimeters. And we know that perimeter is the distance around the outside of the shape. So the first thing I'm going to do is count up how many sides there are around the outside. So let's go around. I'm going to make a mark on each one, so I'm sure not to count that one twice. So starting on the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so because it's made up of all squares, I know that every one of those lengths is the same length. So all I need to do now is divide 126 by 14 to find out the length of each of those sides. And I will do a little bit of division. I'm going to break it down into its factors. This is quite useful if you are dividing by a two-digit number. So let's divide 2 into 126 first, and that is 63. And then I can divide 7 into 63 to get my final answer, which is 9. So each side is 9 centimeters. Okay, on to part B. The beauty of all these questions is that they build upon each other. These three-part questions, you will have to use your answer from part A into part B. So we know that the length of each side is 9 centimeters from our first question. So we're going to use that to find the area of each one of these squares. And that is simply base times height. 9 times 9 equals 81 centimeters squared. So the last thing to do is to find the area of the whole shape. We are going to use what we learned in part B, that the area of one of those squares is 81 centimeters squared. So all we need to do is count up how many squares comprise the whole shape, and that is 8. So my answer will be 8 times 81. I'll write that out here, and the answer is 648 centimeters squared. So that's a nice little step-by-step question to work our way through. Next time you do something similar, just remember these three main fundamentals, that the area of a square or a rectangle equals base times height. The perimeter is when you add up all the sides around the outside of the shape. Ignore anything inside the middle, and pay special attention to what shape makes up the compound shape, because it can often be squares or rectangles and maybe triangles. Okay, well done for watching that video. Have a go at the questions below, and good luck.